Hello to all of our listeners. My name is Juwong, and welcome to the Barely Political Podcast. This week, we'll be discussing the Black Lives Matter movement and police brutality in America. Alrighty. Um, what are y'all's viewpoints on Black Lives Matter?
I mean, I think it's important that we have activism for people of color, but the movement as a whole has turned pretty violent recently.
It has. I feel like people are definitely misinterpreting the term Black Lives Matter, and it's more of like a trend now than it actually is like, like a call for change. It's like people are kind of using Black Lives Matter, I'd say, in the wrong contexts. If they like see a I don't know, black man shooting on the black man, be like, oh, black BLM is really quiet about this, or just some dumb shit, and they completely use it out of context and abuse the term. I'm not gonna say it's pissing me off, but like to see something that is so important and so necessary in this country, like essentially being turned into a joke, is very annoying. It's frustrating.
Hmm.
You want to know what Aaron told me earlier? Okay, here's what Aaron said. Then I think, oh, this is actually like pertains to like George Floyd. Aaron says that George Floyd should have just been arrested, went to court, and paid court fees.
I
And
mean,
then he was saying that if you get arrested and you know you're a minority, you should just be like, even if you didn't do anything, you should just decide like, no, I'm just gonna get arrested and pay for court fees.
to be fair, like as people of like
Yeah,
you
you
are
are
a
gonna be
target.
discriminated by the police,
You are a
but
target.
Yeah, that's not the problem is why. Okay,
yeah,
these
but that
terrible
doesn't
people
mean you should
do
just
nothing.
take abuse. That doesn't mean you should take
Exactly.
harassment that lightly.
Mm.
Aaron, like I understand as a white male and like being born to a predominant white family, like you don't really have much to fear from the police. But because these situations like can escalate very very quickly, and because they're in such a good position to abuse their power, like I understand you don't want to like resist arrest, but if they are doing things that like they it's completely out of line, then you have to speak up. Like they're just not
Yeah.
allowed to do that.
Okay, but I say it because if I was like an African American getting arrested, I know that if I just try to do like a slight movement, some in the something bad can just happen.
Yeah, but Aaron, that shouldn't just be a risk that you're exposed to just because you're black. That's ridiculous.
No, no,
That's
no.
like,
I don't think he's saying that it's a risk, and correct me if you're wrong, Aaron, but I think
Aaron
he's
is literally saying it's a race thing. He's saying that if you're a person of color and like you move your arm, like you're like liable to get shot.
yeah, yeah, okay, so you are liable to get shot. I'm not like it shouldn't be that way. It
it
absolutely
definitely
Aaron
shouldn't.
shouldn't. Yeah.
But I think
is saying
all
that
that he's
we should just
saying,
accept it. Aaron is
No, well,
no.
like
we should just be like,
Yeah,
all right, cool.
we should never accept that. Are you kidding me? Like,
yeah, but
I
Exactly.
I don't see fighting back would be better than would be better.
Right, but like letting that slide though is super.
Yeah, but you're risking your life though. If you're in their hands, you're basically
I
I'm
mean,
risking
not
your
saying
Aaron,
in that
safety.
situation.
it's like it's not just minorities that resist arrest too. You realize it's
Yeah,
just
I know.
that when minorities resist arrest, they're often killed or critically harmed at a much higher rate than white people. That's what we're not saying that like, oh, if you're a like if you resist arrest, like well, I think what you're trying to say is that like if you're a minority, you should never resist the arrest because like you have like the risk in the back of your head of getting killed.
Yeah,
But at
that's
the
what I'm
same
saying.
time, like even as a white man, you have that risk. It's just much larger for a minority,
Yeah,
for no apparent reason other than just racism, systemic racism,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
internalized racism.
I guess it's just because my mindset's always just don't do anything stupid that much.
I mean, yeah, that's everyone's mindset. But until they reach that, like until you're in that situation, we really can't comment on that because of like the high stress and the hormones that are going through your brain at the time. Like your flight and fight response is just insanely triggered.
Yeah. There's oh man, I watched such a good movie on a plane. I've watched so many good movies on planes, but I watched a really good movie about racism actually. It was called Slim and Queen. Uh,
Oh yeah, yeah, don't they like kill a cop?
That's
It's
re-
like yeah,
yeah,
I remember seeing a trailer or something like that.
that
They,
movie
playing
is
recently, Aaron. I mean
they
Ben.
kill a cop and then they like try to run away and they start
It
like
came
a
out like 2 years
entire
ago.
war
Yeah,
essentially.
and
I don't know if it's like a war. There's like one
it was
little
like Bonnie and Clyde kind. It was like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I would
Yeah,
describe
yeah.
it very Bonnie and
I'm
Clyde
not
as
last year. I'm retarded.
racially charged Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the video of the Daniel Shaver killing?
No, no, no.
So
I'll
there's
pull it up.
basically it's horrible.
Oh.
So what happened was this one dude, Daniel Shaver,
The guy that
he had I believe he was shooting an air rifle or something out of a hotel room in a he wasn't shooting, he like had it out in front of his hotel window, and basically someone a neighbor or something called the cops, which I fully understand. And what happened was they came armed with rifles, and it's horrible, but they're essentially playing games with them.
Here, I'll screen share.
Until
We can watch.
Wait, what were the games? Yeah, wait, what were
you
the
can
games?
watch it. It's not.
Is this the one where he was crawling on the hotel floor and they just popped him?
They popped him, and
Oh, that's
I was like,
I remember this one. This one's fucked up. This one's fucked up. I
Can we
remember this
can we
one.
even play this audio on stream?
Yeah,
We
should
can.
be able to.
It's like I don't know if we're gonna get copyrighted because it's not like a label on this footage.
Well, everybody can go watch it on their own.
all right, but you guys should take a look. It's
Wait, what
I
is it?
saw it and it was horrible.
Wait,
It's rough. They were like forcing him to crawl on the ground, and then he tried to pull
Yeah,
it.
he was.
Tried to pull it out of-
What had happened was he was crying, and then they kept telling him like, we're gonna shoot if you don't comply with our orders. They're giving him mixed orders. They were screaming at him. He was like in an extremely stressful position, and then he accidentally moves his arm a little bit, and they shoot, I believe, 5 bullets into his neck.
And one was they told him to put his hands up and wait. They told him like lie down on his chest, and then do something he couldn't do. Is this that one?
All right, look at the Washington Post website. It has it, and then go to 340-ish. That's where the shooting is.
I don't know if I can like put that in the thing.
Oh,
No,
You can't just watch on your own.
oh.
Yeah, okay. I'll watch it afterwards because I can't watch it without the audio coming through my desktop. So
You're right.
I need to set up like a virtual audio cable or something so that way I can
Yeah.
like play OSU or something in the background.
That's nasty. Okay, well, no.
Yikes.
Why did that get me sick?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't understand why police officers should be armed with assault weapons. That doesn't really make too much sense to me.
No, that's like I think that was like the
The really sad thing is the officer was never charged. He was acquitted.
Mm.
What?
Like if you watch the video, it's like he now gets $2,500 a month because apparently he got PTSD from the incident, and yeah,
What?
he's fully acquitted from the killing.
That's so fucking stupid.
That's just fucking shit.
Man,
huh?
and I mean like how long do either of y'all or do any of y'all know like how long you have to be in police academy to actually become a police officer?
It's something like 6 weeks, right?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
It's
I
a
know
very
I know
very
it's
short amount
less
of
than-
time.
Less than 6 months.
It's like to be basically like be in legal possession of a gun and legally use it, be able to use it on essentially anyone, like, and you have that little training, like I find that kind of ridiculous. I understand the need for police and like the need for a large amount of it if you're trying to like run a stable society, but if you're giving them that little training and slip-ups like that happen all the time, then there's something seriously wrong with police.
And something else, not only do they have a gun, but they're as a police officer, what you're expected to enforce the law enforcement, right? That is
The thing with police too is like they can lie legally.
Mhm.
They can lie legally too. It's crazy.
My dad says cops are just people that were bullied in school and shit.
They circumvent. I mean, they circumvent the law in some very unethical ways. I'm gonna be honest.
Y'all
And the
remember,
Police
They're
don't
never
care.
charged.
The police are just on one giant power trip. All of them.
y'all
Yeah,
remember?
They probably,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kid who slammed the ice door door
He,
and like
he
threw his
tried to cut my
hero.
hair once. I remember it in my outdoor.
Yo, what? That's
We were
fun.
watching something, and then he grabbed a pair of scissors, came up behind me, and then started trying to cut my hair.
Oh man.
That man was different.
Oh my
I
God. Y'all.
felt very uncomfortable around him.
So I'm gonna have to bleep out his name, I think, but I ran into him in driver's ed like in Christmas time.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know if I told any of y'all. I told Aaron about people, but I was like freaking out because I saw and I was like, dude, he's here and he was a fuck boy. He turned into a fuck boy.
What do you mean?
Like he dyed his hair black and he was wearing like these really baggy shirts and like tight ass jeans with rips in them.
He probably just found the alt side of TikTok. He definitely did become a fuckboy.
No, I mean like obviously he was trying his hardest and he was like sucking up to the driver's ed teacher. So it was fine.
Nothing has
Well,
changed.
we need to get back to the topic.
I mean, we got time to just chill.
What is the topic?
We're talking
Oh,
about
we're
Black
talking
Lives
about
Matter.
Black Lives Matter
A hard topic.
and just how it's like become it's become essentially a joke. It's
Yeah.
really sad.
It's a meme at this point.
Yeah,
There's
I
those
mean,
social influencers.
Oh,
I mean, yeah,
because so
I
many
feel like
people, there's just so many people who talk about it who just don't know what it's actually about.
exactly. I feel like because people are trying to virtue signal and like performance activism, you guys know what that is, right?
I
Yeah,
don't know
they're
what
trying
virtue
to act
signaling is.
good. They're being the good boys.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to act like good people, you know, to receive more to receive a stronger following. And celebrities do that all the time with controversial issues. They always choose, you know, like the right side, even though they may not believe in it for publicity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate to see.
Yeah.
Fucking fence sitting cunts.
And it's just, it's twisted, and the message is twisted.
That's not even fence sitting. That's just lying. But yeah, that's what gives like so many things like a bad rep is people talking about it, acting like they're for that when they're not. They don't actually know what the fuck they're talking about, so they just sound stupid, and they make the whole thing sound stupid.
I mean, yeah, misinformation is one of the largest problems in society.
I don't know.
The two-party system and
Yeah.
the problems with it. Okay,
The social media.
so
Okay, hold on. I just don't like how social media works, bro. I try to avoid that because the problem is I got to a point where I just don't know who to believe.
yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Politics and social media have like morphed into this large, like, great divide. Because I do feel like it's not just news. It's like apps like Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. That's like has just made the inherent problems with the two-party system
Okay, like
just so much greater.
like the George Floyd thing, bro. Like some sites or some articles say George Floyd's money, like let's talk about the money, was fake, or some money was, or some articles are saying it was real. So I'm like, who do I trust, bro? Like I don't.
It's when people like try to justify the killing of George Floyd that just it
Oh.
boggles me. Like you can't justify holding your knee on someone for that extended period of time for no reason.
I know it was bad for like killing him, but I just don't know like the arresting.
Oh, like the true context of it.
Yeah, like I don't know like.
I understand your point, but whatever context you have, it doesn't change the fact that he
Yeah,
was
I
killed
know.
in cold
I
blood.
get it.
Police
it was,
officers shouldn't be killing in the first place.
Exactly.
I don't think they
Like
even-
criminals.
Especially in that brutal of a way, like literally choking
Oh,
off their airway.
I mean, but whether it's criminal or not, like criminals, like felons. I won't say all criminals, right? Because there's misdemeanors, but felons
Yeah.
deserve to like rot in hell, right? Like child molesters, child predators. Those people
Like
don't deserve to.
I understand if George Floyd pulled out a gun and was aiming at them, but like from the body cam footage, yes, he was resisting arrest. It wasn't to the point they had 4 officers. Like they could have easily detained him without having to hold their knee on their neck.
Yeah, it's.
Some people have speculated that because Derek Chauvin and George Floyd worked together before, that it could have been something personal. I think that, but in my opinion, because there's so many like examples of police brutality, like it can't just be fueled by because they got personal issues between them.
Oh yeah, there's no way.
It's like not every cop knows every person they kill personally. Like that's impossible.
Yeah. And maybe his intention was just to like really fuck him up. Maybe his intention wasn't to kill, but like even then, it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
even then, you
He's
shouldn't
still-
have had the
he's
intention in the
still-
first
yeah.
place. As a police officer, like I understand you gotta enforce the law, but you still have to respect it and abide by it.
Mhm.
Like just because you're the highest authority in the room, like does not mean you don't have to submit to anyone. There's still gonna be someone higher than you.
People, okay, but like, okay,
It's
going
just-
back,
They got massive egos.
and we know. Okay,
Ouch.
we're going off topic about how
It doesn't matter. This is so we can
I
talk.
know.
Chill bulk out, yeah.
I know it's just cops. The cops are probably guys. Like, notice how most cops are like fat guys, or just they look like they were losers in high school.
Darren, why are we mentioning their past? It's just
I have never seen a cop look badass, dude. And besides in like movies, dude. Name,
Can I
Like,
bring?
Do you have any?
like there's funny cops like Officer T.
Do you have any like actually progressive ideas on how to improve police, or are we just gonna talk about how fat police officers are?
No, I'm talking
Because
about.
everyone already knows that.
No, I'm just talking about how big of a fucking loser they are, dude. Like, I don't know, like how. Okay, but like
There's still it's still their
okay,
career.
what are we supposed to do, dude? Like, because I know like whenever they do something, they are filed for it. I'm pretty or like, yeah, they are
I
filed.
understand the role in society, and I understand like it is still a career for most like, families to go to, but just we need to improve it. I'm not for necessarily like completely dismantling getting rid of it. Like that's not really helping anybody. But if we could improve the force, like create more psychological tests, increase training in like high stress
But
situations,
I do
then
think it's because of like the area that they live in. It's because some cops like the real rough parts of like the U.S. I guess.
then they're just simply unfit to be a cop. If you have a really quick trigger finger, if you have like a twitchy trigger finger that like just shoots for no reason, then I don't believe that the cop job is right for you.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's too much risk involved with that.
Oh man, can I just bring this up really quickly and then we can
Sure, yeah,
keep
of
talking about
course.
this? Did you know George Floyd was a porn star?
He
yeah. Yeah.
was. That man was slanging. Oh my god.
Well, I didn't watch
My
anything.
man was slanging.
I just wanted to make sure everybody knew.
Yeah, no, I knew it. Yeah.
Uh,
Dude was packing.
yeah.
So we're gonna move on to the issues with the two-party system.
If y'all are done talking about cops, but we were in a pretty saucy discussion
All
over
right.
there.
What else do you want to talk about cops? I mean,
I mean,
It's just I don't.
shoot.
Okay, but like I don't see how we're gonna like I don't see how we're gonna change how cops work. I guess.
improve training. I mean, that's
We'll make
if the federal government just put some money out of like certain thing.
just be like Brooklyn 99, bro. That funny show. Isn't that?
What?
Have you never watched like shit in Brooklyn 99 or whatever it's called?
How do you guys feel about like the all cops are bad thing?
Oh my god. So, I mean, I've seen people say all cops are bastards because, um, I mean, the excuse that I saw for that is because until they recognize that some cops are bad, all cops are bad,
Yeah.
that sort of thinking, which is such a flawed logic. Because that's like saying,
It honestly is.
that's
Like I
like
think
saying,
about it, I'm like, that's like saying if a white person is a KKK member, then every white person is a KKK member. Like
that's that's like
that's
saying
yeah,
that is like saying that all all members of ACAB are like members of Antifa until they recognize that Antifa's
yeah.
not good.
It's it's like a flawed logic system that a lot of people will use. And personally, I don't really believe that all cops are bad. I feel like the system is flawed, and I guess in certain situations it's bad. But to say that all cops are bad is just a complete generalization, and it's completely unfair to like
Did you see that
the
video?
hardworking men and women that do police at like at a good like ethically.
Did you
It's
see
just
that?
like complete disservice to them.
Oh, there's a video of like these cops arresting a guy, and like there's a crowd of people watching, and this guy was over exaggerating of him getting arrested.
Yeah, Tyson, that's what I brought up. Sorry, he said ACAB means all cops are bastards.
Yeah, that's. Did you see that video? And
I
everyone's
mean,
like,
people will literally scream at cops, a cab, and I'm like, I don't really see the point in doing this. So, like,
Okay, there is also
it's not
one.
really helping
Okay,
anyone.
so there's something just really fucked up. So like this guy knew that during the protest, he went into like a nail salon with a machete and slashed woman, and then walked out, and he was African American. So the cops are like, "Put your machete down," and this was during a protest, right? So he knew that during the protest, he dropped it. He threw his machete somewhere like where no one could see it. So when the cops are arresting him, all the protesters got on the cops.
It's
For
ridiculous.
Well, then those protesters are idiots, and they should not have been trying to help,
well, they don't
a
know that. They don't
a
know that.
criminal, a felon.
Did you guys hear about what happened in Austin?
Oh yeah, the horses.
Not
Or
the
what?
horses. We'll talk about that
Or
Or
in a
what
second.
happened in Austin?
There's
It was
something
probably like 2 weeks ago. This one dude was stuck in the middle of a protest. I think he was either stuck there or he was protesting the protest. You feel?
Yeah,
And some dude started like pointing his gun, so there's a little shootout, and the guy, like the one protesting the protest, actually killed the other guy, right? Because
yeah.
he was defending himself and he had better aim, obviously. I was just curious if y'all had heard anything about that.
No, I haven't. I mean, I don't really support when protests get violent. I mean,
Oh yeah,
in
no. That,
in
but
this country, like we should learn to peacefully respect other people's opinion, and like if if it truly gets violent, then you just completely like you're only furthering the divide between the beliefs.
yeah, you're not only like negating everything you say because it doesn't matter
Yeah,
at that point. You're a criminal.
exactly.
But you're also putting every peaceful protester's life in danger.
Yeah,
Every single one of
honestly,
them is now a target. You know. Um, God, I like rioting. People who support the idea of rioting kind of just like,
and looting. Yeah, that's like I understand. There are certain things with the BLM movement that's like has become kind of skewed. Like I will say, the people that supported BLM supported rioting. Like that's just a contradiction in itself. Just that's ridiculous. You can't support the destruction of the country that you want to improve.
you know,
So,
oh my
yeah, what's
God.
up?
What's absolutely hilarious is, I mean, it's not hilarious, it's heartbreaking, right? But like seeing these like these black business owners, like family owned businesses, seeing their
Yeah,
businesses get
Oh, get
looted and
destroyed.
violated
Yeah,
upon
yeah.
in the Black Lives Matter riots.
hmm it's like at that point it's not even Black Lives Matter supporters. It's just a bunch of losers trying to make a quick buck or something.
Oxymoronic. I think that's
people,
the right term.
people who
Uh,
buy cars.
it's
People who
honestly
buy
horrible.
cars.
Yeah,
Am I
because at
right?
one point, like when a movement becomes so big, there's gonna be outliers, and there's gonna be people that say they support the movement, or like complete out, the complete don't support it, and they just basically dirty, I guess ruin it for other people. That's like the simplest way I could say it.
I went to one of the protests, dude.
Yeah.
Do you know how like all those white girls say Black Lives Matter? I
Mm.
did not see one single like white girl out there, dude.
Was that the one over in like Sandy Lake and Denton Tap, like
Yeah,
by the Chipotle?
yeah.
I remember
I
seeing that
saw
on everybody's story.
saw no white girl there,
I
dude.
mean, if you're constantly coming out there, I do truly appreciate your efforts to make this country better. But if you're gonna be out there just to prove that you're a good person, then
Yeah.
please like move yourself away from the movement, because those are the type of people that are just
I saw
stereotyped.
I saw Muhammad, so I just walked away.
That's cool though. That's cool that people went to that. I was in
Yeah.
Austin when that happened. Like that was, I think
I
that
went
was
to the,
when that Austin shooting happened.
I went to the first big one, and then the like I think there's like a minor one.
Yeah, I remember the one at
My
Annie Brown.
there's a on my friend Andrea was
Yeah.
there. He said yeah, it was just a bunch of white.
Taking
You
pictures
know, I
for
really
Instagram.
hope there is. I hope with our generation we can create some reform in this country. The one thing I really don't agree with is our policymakers. Like, if you ever like looked at Congress, you've noticed that they're all extremely old white men, right?
Yeah, I mean
But
because
like, that never really made that much sense to me.
well, because I don't think anyone our age is really interested in politics besides like the kids that are history fanatics.
To be honest, as a white person, I haven't like realized. I mean, like recently I realized, right? But like growing up, I never realized how weird that was. That almost every man in
Yeah,
history, almost every person in history was a white man. Obviously, with quite a few
important
exceptions.
person
No,
or
no, no. Just like these big. I guess technically important person, but these big American figures are all like white men, old white men.
yeah. I mean, it honestly because like even before and even now they still they control like a disproportionate amount of wealth and power.
Hmm.
You know how it says like the winners write history.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
those were the winners. They were the winners of their generations, and they were the ones that got to write it.
True. I
I
mean, if you
mean,
really want to get into like rich white dudes with tons of power, Aaron, do you remember that CERN video I showed you?
No, don't talk about
Yeah,
what
okay.
happened?
It's so I'm gonna talk about it, Aaron. So you can either
it.
mute or like
No,
find the
no,
solution.
yeah, I'm
Um,
upset.
CERN is a like
It's the Large
Swedish.
Hadron Collider. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah, yeah.
particle
Okay.
accelerator.
So they had a opening ritual for one of the newest particle colliders,
Yeah.
and it was very, very demonic and weird. And so the reason that Aaron's freaked out about this is because it was like a long, long time ago, like last year.
Yeah.
A group of us, it was like the middle of the night, and we were all just like watching this video,
Uh-huh.
and it's like super weird stuff. Like you see demonic symbolization, you see raping of women, you see like people being sacrificed, and
Where do you guys find this video?
On YouTube.
if I yeah, it's on YouTube. Like we can turn it on right now if Aaron.
Oh, no, I'd rather not. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Um.
It's just weird dancing.
I mean, I've always thought that the Hadron Collider was for creating new elements and stuff.
I mean,
Because
yeah,
that's
yeah,
essentially
yeah.
what it does.
But
like,
they've also talked on their website about like creating portals.
Yeah,
to
potentially
different
interdimensional
dimensions.
rifts. I remember hearing about that too. It's
And
like
then
very, very short
and then
portal stuff.
they pull stunts like that. Makes me super sketched out. The
Wasn't
videos.
wasn't there like a thing of a stabbing or a ritual?
Yeah, so I mean that thing. They said that it was fake. CERN did, but at the same time, they also performed this crazy ritual in this tunnel, man.
And the weirdest part was that was the first video that like made me like cry of fear. Like that was the first
Yeah, I
one.
remember that night. Everybody was messed up.
Someone's internet cut out mid video. So we're like, yeah, no.
Like
So
we're
that's
not-
why.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Jacob's power went out, and we were like hearing
Yeah.
sounds go up on the background.
We're like, nah, screw this. It was just not. So now we have to delete this chat.
I remember I read this this book or something about like the most powerful families, like the most powerful bloodlines in the world.
I say something about the Bushes, the Kennedys.
I'm pretty sure it's talking about the Bundys. Apparently the Bundys are like one of the most. Yeah, it's
No.
crazy.
I mean, I know about Ted Bundy being like all
Serial killer.
you know, like, but I didn't know his family had power. Do you remember anything from that, or is it just like
It was like a book, like the CIA or something published, or like it was
Oh,
on the
yeah.
Shield website or something.
mm,
And it was the most powerful bloodlines.
You get it?
Bloodlines. Oh yeah, the 13 families that control the world.
Only if I was Johnny Depp's child.
It's basically the bloodlines of the Illuminati.
oh
And it's-
yeah.
It was written in 1995, and it's just a bunch of families.
I mean, if we want to get into powerful families as well, we can talk about Jeff Epstein and the amount
Yeah.
of people.
Oh, the Jeffrey. Epstein's case is honestly like a complete rabbit hole, because
It really
apparently
is.
there was like some speculation that it wasn't just child trafficking. What he was doing was he was filming it and using it to blackmail these people. That's the
Oh,
crazy
wow.
part.
So
He was like filming these acts of horrible things,
mhm.
and he was using it to like blackmail them to like money, power, all that.
I thought some guy just hated Jeff. I thought some guy just.
And it's all somehow linked to Israel.
Is
That's the
true?
crazy thing. Yeah, because Ghislaine Maxwell's father was actually a powerful man
That's
in
right.
England,
He was
but
like
he was an
above
undercover Mossad agent for Israel.
Oh my
So,
god, really?
Apparently, there's some connections to that too. Yeah, it's a crazy rabbit hole.
So have you seen the Netflix special about it?
Yeah, I have Dirty, Filthy Rich or something.
No. He has one that's it's based off
Very
of
good.
a book that some chick wrote. Hold on, let me.
Dirty rich Asians, bro.
That's not
Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich. I think that's what it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
Yeah, I've watched that before. It was honestly very sad.
I got like 2 episodes in and I couldn't, like it just.
It wasn't, the thing is, like, when the third episode talks about the island, it wasn't even just his
Oh,
house
wait,
in
yeah,
Florida.
okay,
It was
wait.
talking, he had a private island in the Caribbean.
Wait, Jeff
Yeah.
Epstein's the guy that had the island.
Yeah.
What they would do is they have orgies with like really powerful people and just like little girls essentially.
Little girl.
Yeah.
Looks hella.
And they also mentioned this, like, there's a story of this one French woman. She tried to escape the island by swimming away, but she got like caught almost instantly by him.
Probably not by him though, like by.
Yeah, essentially. But it's terrifying to think that that type of stuff goes on.
Yeah.
Like, his lawyer, when what happened was his accused, like, when he abused those people, when he assaulted those kids, they like eventually put up a lawsuit against him. And what happened was he didn't get charged with sex with minors. He got charged with procuration, like procuring a minor for like prostitution, and that's just bringing, like, that doesn't mean they ever had sex with them or anything, even though they did, because he had such good lawyers, and he agreed to a plea deal that only got him, like, I think a little over a year in prison. He constantly broke the rules of his parole, and he had like a really, really lenient sentence, and that just goes to show like how much power
Because people
Um,
were so afraid of him.
Yeah,
He
and what
could
the
ruin
crazy
their
thing
lives.
was, he had a really powerful lawyer named Alan Dershowitz, and what is it? I think the American like Supreme Court Justice, uh, Alex, fuck, Jeffrey Epstein and Alex Acosta, that's his name.
Oh yeah.
He was a U.S. attorney. Alex Acosta was in charge of the case or something, and he was an American attorney. And what happened was he was in charge of the case or something, and Jeffrey Epstein always met with him and stuff, and they just agreed to a plea deal that
Obama.
that basically charged him with essentially nothing,
Obama.
and he ran free until he got caught in 2018,
Wait, who was with?
got killed.
Wasn't there a girl with Jeffrey up?
Ghislaine Maxwell, yeah, his girlfriend or
Isn't
wife.
she trying to? Isn't
She is under trial right now.
Yeah, I remember seeing she was put under trial recently.
Yeah.
Like that's a newer.
I honestly, I don't think she's gonna squeak. And if she does, she's gonna get killed very,
Or
very
she's
quickly.
gonna kill herself, you know.
She's gonna suicide her. You know.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to make her not do.
I remember seeing a meme. It was like about the Clintons. I'm like, I don't care who you are, but you don't have 54 friends that kill themselves or something. Like I'm like, yeah, honestly.
You're just a really depressing guy. Everybody you
Yeah.
talk to
And
is just like,
also, did you guys see there was the story of the FedEx driver that killed like the judge's son?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, are you guys like, are you guys blind? Like, the elite, the global elites are literally doing this in front of our eyes, and we're not doing anything about it.
I say
Like, it's
next,
crazy.
Next podcast, let's talk about like global elites and shit. Cause
Global
that's
elites. Okay.
I mean,
That's
the
a
skull and
entirely
crossbones,
deeper rabbit hole in itself.
Like, oh my god! But it's all always connected to like.
It's always connected to like just a bunch of really, really creepy shit.
I found out about all of this through Pizzagate. Like it's.
Pizzagate. Oh yeah, it's a deep rabbit hole.
Yeah.
It's a very, very deep rabbit hole. And the thing is, even if we like, as much as we can go on the internet and talk about it, it's not like it's ever gonna be fully exposed, considering these people control so much wealth and so much power.
Yeah. More.
Like they give off the illusion. The funny thing is, these people give off the illusion that like we have freedom and free will, but they're the people that are constantly manipulating the markets, the media, politics, everything, the world in itself.
Mm,
It's
yeah.
like we may think we're in control, but we're really not.
And I mean, dude, I don't know, man. Like,
Isn't that terrifying to think about?
it's horrible.
It's terrifying to think about. Like you're essentially under the palm of some elite billionaire, and their decisions may not be apparent, but because of like the butterfly effect, it's changing the entire world.
Yeah. I used to get like really into Freemasonry. Like
Freemason. Oh, weren't like certain old presidents like Freemasons?
Yeah, they're Masons.
What are the Freemason principles? I remember hearing about them.
I mean, basically, they all just share the same belief that there's a divine creator.
Uh-huh.
And it's like a little country club, right? That's the impression they give off.
Yeah.
They all believe in they call him the divine architect. I think that's their word for like a singular god.
Huh.
And they have these really creepy rituals that like at the time I was like, oh, that's so cool, and you pay a little fee and you're like in a club with the boys, and then
Yeah.
you start like thinking about these rituals and like what could actually be happening right there, like selling your soul type of shit. And,
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that there's conspiracy about politicians being Satanists, and that kind of creeped me out too.
Oh, for sure.
Like devil worshippers and stuff.
Well, I mean that goes back to like CERN and all of that. Like
Yeah. The global elite are controlled by that, and there's the Illuminati and all that stuff. It's crazy. Like, my question is, if you do become that rich and powerful, do you think they just approach you and be like, "Hey, what's up? Do you want to join a club?"
They don't give you a choice. Like you cannot get that powerful without.
Oh, oh yeah, that is true. I mean, the thing is, like, these type of people, they don't get into power just by themselves.
Yeah.
I feel like what they do is they start young. They start like when they're
Maybe mid.
they start before, and eventually they start to make their way up,
Hmm.
and eventually just pressured into, or just like pushed into these really powerful positions.
Yeah, it's like what's it called? Scientology.
But yeah, yeah, I remember hearing about that. They got Scientology into Congress.
Isn't
So
that
shout out my boy Tom Cruise for being into
I
wait,
know.
what's that?
Scientology,
Scientology.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
my
crazy.
boy Tom Cruise is in Scientology.
Dude,
Yeah,
he's had so many mental breakdowns on TV talking about it. It's really crazy.
Scientology is
Isn't it
crazy.
Isn't it? There was like a documentary about it, wasn't there?
It's
There's been a
so
few.
it's essentially just like the belief that like everyone has like spirits and stuff and just
It's
trans-dimensional
It's
things.
based off
It's
of a
very
science
weird.
fiction book.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
very
issue.
weird.
It's a
Yeah, I don't know
pyramid
about anybody
scheme.
who genuinely believes in Scientology. Like
Other than Tom Cruise.
yeah,
It's-
they're just all bugging out at the same time.
it's
What
a-
if they actually use Tom Cruise as like a poser or something?
No, there's a
Like
bunch of
they're
things.
trying to use him as a advocate for their weird ass fucking religion.
I
Well,
think
that's
his,
how he has to rank up is by like having and going and having like these public freakouts on TV.
his
Maybe.
wife. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure his wife.
Have you guys seen the Great Church of Scientology or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that it's the blue building, and it's low-key terrifying.
I walked by.
Oh yeah, the giant building. That shit is
Yeah.
scary.
It is scary, honestly.
I walked by.
I really don't understand people's fascination with it, but they
It's
can
very
believe what they want to
interesting.
believe.
It's like, it's
It
very
is interesting. There are like books and stuff written about it, but I don't know
Oh,
if
is
it
it
really.
Dallas?
No,
It's not. It's in LA.
Oh, there's one in Dallas though. Church
Yeah,
of
there is
Scientology
one.
Dallas. Yo, let me pull up. I'm trying to see what's good. I'm trying to get kidnapped.
It's in Cali.
If you talk shit
Yeah,
about
for
it,
sure.
you get like shit.
Oh
Yo,
yeah. You don't.
if someone pays me money, I will dead go there and say fuck Scientology. If
What if they
anyone pays
grab
me
you,
money.
pull you in there, and like
Oh, scary! They all believe in like spirits, bro. I'm not scared.
They won't grab you and pull you in.
They're
there,
gonna-
but
they're gonna
they'll
use-
find where you live and then
Oh,
ransack
they're
your shit
gonna
when you
use
go
the-
vacationing.
yeah.
Bro, they're gonna use their spirit to track me down. My fault.
Oh yeah, I remember the
Uh-huh.
Denver airport. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like in the shape of a
Colorado
SWAT gun stuff.
Colorado International Airport. The airport is laid out.
And apparently the airport is like, it's near a mountain, so it's like apparently a bunker where elites can like hide and stuff.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's Lucifer. Like they have a freaking demon horse statue outside the airport.
Yeah, that too.
For anybody who's like seeing the screen right now, this is the shape of the airport with a little swastika.
Crazy
over it.
stuff.
Oh yeah, Jacob, we did talk about CERN, so yeah,
Ah, that.
gotta delete.
Damn, bro. You already lost this chat.
I wouldn't be. Can you imagine if the Nazis did are in Congress right now?
Imagine if the Nazis won.
Imagine we
Yeah,
secretly
because
lost
there's,
World
like,
War II.
There was there's speculation that like Hitler actually didn't kill himself, but they
Oh,
fled
for
to South
sure.
America.
Oh yeah.
Like, what-
I saw that.
Can you imagine like can you think about like what if Nazis are in powerful positions in Congress right now? We're just
That
too
would-
blind to notice.
That's a funny bait. That would be the biggest bait of all time.
Wolfenstein, bro?
I mean, that's like the best way to take down a government. It's like instill your beliefs, and eventually everyone becomes so desensitized by it that like they just blindly believe it. You know?
And then whenever
Not
they're like,
the
yeah,
Nazi science bit, where it's like they had like crazy ass science experiments. They figured out like crazy shit.
Yeah, that too.
and then
Yeah.
one day,
Do y'all
whenever,
believe in it?
huh?
Like, do y'all believe?
Oh, the Nazis being able to. I mean,
Maybe.
maybe. I don't. I don't even know where they'd be though. Those inventions, maybe like in a hidden bunker somewhere. But if they really did have that advanced technology, then like, why would they let themselves get destroyed and potentially lose a war if they had that technology?
Part of the bait you want, you have to act like they lost and then they win. Like it's like I'm pretty sure that's in like the Art of War book where it's like make your plans like dark as night or some shit and then like fall like a
Oh shit, that
thunderbolt.
actually makes some sense.
Like, basically, like
Like,
you
if-
make
okay.
them think that you're gone and then you catch them lacking.
If you let's say you were in like an ally, let's say the tech that you stole from the Nazis are in an allied bunker, like an allies bunker somewhere in America. What you do is you flee to South America, you get your Nazi members, like your Nazi believers, into Congress, and like in those laboratories and stuff, they start analyzing them, and they're like, hey, we might be able to use the technology for warfare. You know, there's plenty of warmongers in the U.S., and especially in Congress. They take up on that idea. They give them the technology back. They
Wait,
start developing, creates weapons. Those Nazis get to the highest positions in U.S.
who
government,
said Hitler was dead?
and essentially now they control the most powerful government, powerful military in the world.
Wait, who said Hitler was dead?
Nobody. I mean, they never found his body. I honestly think he was alive. I think he was alive, and he just ran away.
That makes sense.
It would honestly make
So
sense.
they just said he suicided?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen tons of like evidence towards why he has and why he has. You know,
Yeah.
I say
Weird.
evidence. I haven't physically seen it. I don't know if it's.
Oh no, I have a
Hitler's
time travel
grandson
machine.
might be
I have a
alive.
time machine, guys.
Hitler's grandson might be alive.
Oh, he does have he does have like living descendants, but they've all pledged to end to never have children and like completely end the Hitler bloodline.
Really?
They
Yeah, they
cannot
have.
have children. That's so cool.
No, it's not that they're legally binded to not. It's just that they've all pledged because they thought it would be super immoral, you know, to create more Hitlers.
Wait,
I mean,
he raped
you don't inherit beliefs if they're not taught to you. So I mean, I don't see the problem with them having children. To be honest,
I understand that, but I don't want my grandchildren to have any semblance of fucking Adolf Hitler. The fuck.
So you just change your last name and don't tell them. For real, dude. Okay, the reason that Hitler turned out the way he did was one, incest, right? Like somewhere in that family tree there was incest.
Yeah,
And
incest.
two, his stepdad fucking hated him. He made his life miserable.
Yeah, I remember hearing he had like childhood trauma or something.
Yeah,
his mom
that is
died or
the
something.
that is like the reason he turned into these.
But I mean, you can't tell them like, oh, you have to have children. Like, I respect their decision to not have any.
Didn't the Nazis start out like a cult thing and then it became big in the politics or something?
No,
Okay.
so I mean like the Jewish hating group, it was like an underlying theme in the area at the time, and Hitler, right? Hitler had become a member of the group because his stepdad had the opposite, or he had some opposite belief that
So he's like,
everything
yeah,
happening
fuck
at the time was okay, and so he was like, yeah, exactly. He was like, I hate my stepdad, and
belief or
I'm
something.
going to instill the opposite belief that we should kill Jewish people and their.
So if his dad hated Jews, he would have loved Jews.
Yeah, possibly.
Potentially, yeah. And also, I mean, the way that he got in such power was because he and his party were able to effectively like push the blame onto the Jews for the like all the turmoil from World War One. It technically wasn't their fault at all, but I don't know if you can if you can like make someone the scapegoat, an effective scapegoat, then basically control everyone, am I right?
So it was a giant ass cult, kinda. Oh, yo, my favorite topic of talking shit is cults, bro. I don't know
Cults are terrifying, and that's it. That's all I need to be said.
why. Well, that's my favorite.
They're
topic
scary,
to talk about.
very
There's
scary.
like an era of just cults, weren't there? Yeah, there were.
Yeah. Also, you all know about Heaven's Gate, right?
my favorite. I
Heaven's
bought their
Gate.
shoes. I bought them
You want?
on YouTube,
Dude,
but
they're
I have the
drippy.
replica.
They're
They're so
actually
tiny.
drippy.
So nice. I destroyed them though, so.
They're low key drippy though. I'm gonna be honest. They died. They died ice cold.
Fresh. I'm not gonna lie. They were dead when they pulled in their bodies. 10 days later, they were still fresh.
What the fuck?
They had drip
Oh my
inside.
Have you guys have seen the videos of their founder, right?
Mm-mm, no.
Like that man was not okay at
The
all.
guy left behind them. It was the guy that left behind.
Yeah, he apparently still responds to the emails.
Yeah, he runs the emails. Like, that's so
Yeah, it's
toxic.
Apparently he still believes. He's like, I'm sorry I had to be left behind.
That's gotta be so sad. Imagine like all of your friends and the only people who like think you're sane all kill themselves.
I had all go to
Exactly,
the
yeah.
go to the Super Bowl place, except you. You didn't
This
go to
man
the
blinks
Super
like
Bowl.
I think someone had like a blink counter, but that man blinks like a collective 12 times. It's horrifying.
Yeah, he does. He's kind of scary. It's like he's a different breed of human.
Can we watch this real quick?
Yes,
Yeah.
watch it.
I'm sure. Wait, no, if it's a documentary, no, because then it's probably
It's not.
copyrighted.
It's like it's 7 minutes. It's initiation tapes.
I'm just gonna stream it and watch it so that way people can like see.
Terrible.
It's in my room, bro. Well, you're not sharing.
Your only chance
Ass dunks, bro. So clean.
is to leave with us.
Oh
Never
my
blinked.
goodness.
Black and purple.
planet
Look
Earth.
into his. I don't see any light in his
Realize that
eyes.
This is
everything
very like I feel like
This is disturbing. This is so
Uncomfortable.
disturbing.
that
Do you think
mind
if someone kissed him right now?
see what
I don't think he's alive anymore. Look how old he
We-
looks.
more civilized
What is
when
your response? I feel like you're just
behavior,
talking, like,
human
you have to have a
activity,
real-
human think.
He has the teeth of a reptile.
Some girl just doesn't.
Yeah, but their belief was like the Halley's Comet. There was like a spaceship traveling behind it. And if they killed themselves, their souls would hop on.
What the fuck?
It doesn't make any sense to me
I
either.
feel like my soul would take a little bit of time to get up there, you know? I don't think it'd be an instant thing.
Nah, bro, you're instantly beamed up by Gotti, bro.
I think we do have enough time to what is it? I think we can. I'm pretty sure we'll see Halley's Comet in our lifetimes. So if you guys would like to try it out, then
If I'm old, I'll do it.
Yeah, if I'm
well,
old,
I think he did say that it only like that was the only instance like in 1995 or something.
BS.
So it's a little too late, guys. I'm sorry.
I'll test it.
Tough, right? Tough.
Well, thank you for watching our not really political beliefs, or barely or some. Yeah, sure.
Podcast, bruh. 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10. That's alright. It gets better with age.
That is true. Well,
I feel like that man
I
was
like
just
podcast. AC podcast
Extremely
got worse.
senile.
Yeah.
He was just extremely senile, and he just got this following of like really people, like hopeless people, who just saw nothing better in life but
Took advantage
killing
of it.
themselves. Exactly, it's
He's
horrible.
He's like
Brown
Jeffrey
guy.
Epstein, but he isn't rich.
I mean that's essentially. That's what cults are based on. Like, right?
Yeah,
Just
taking advantage
people-
of people who are in a weak state of mind.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you join us, we'll be able to like financially provide for you and stuff.
There's like a cult that started in America, but then moved to like their makeshift ass town in like Africa or something. And like he made all of them like he gave kids like fucking grape juice or something, and then said no, it's grape juice, and they had fucking like acid in it. So everyone,
Holy fuck.
every little kid was screaming, and then he was like, no, it's time to go. They know what we were doing here. So then people were like, yo, this ain't right. It's right. So what he did was shoot them.
That's
Are you talking about Jonestown?
Yes. Basically.
Oh yeah, he killed 900 people.
what? What?
Like apparently 900 people died. I remember. I remember
In-
hearing about this or something.
I do not know about this at all.
They died. Basically, there's a cult, and the reverend he told them to drink poison, and they'll kill themselves.
Yeah.
Oh,
But then-
my mom mentioned that before.
But like then they started realizing that this ain't right. You know, something ain't right here, chief.
Yeah, he moved to Venezuela.
I mean, if you're gonna be a criminal, you might as well live out your days in the worst country in the world. Like he could pay off all of his charges in Venezuela, get away with it all, and then become a drug lord.
Thank you for listening to this week's Barely Political podcast. Don't forget, you can always find us at anchor.fm/TBP podcast. That's anchor.fm/TBP podcast.